Hello YouTube, Mr. Mellon back again, and that's it. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. We are making our medicine. So I'm going to get all my ingredients ready, and today we're going to have a think about the actions that we're doing and describing how we're doing them. So take a look at this video first, and this video is about verbs.
Well, what a lovely view. The perfect place to tell you all about verbs. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's some building work going on. Where were we? Oh yes, a verb is a word used to describe an action. That's doing something. Or a verb can be used to describe a state. That's feeling something. Or a verb can be used to describe an occurrence. That's something happening. You can't even have a sentence or question without a verb. That's how amazingly important verbs are. The workers here are working. Working is a doing word. They work up on this building all day long. Work is also a verb because it is an occurrence. Oh dear. What's this? They can hear something. Hear is also a verb. The workers can see a gorilla monster climbing the building. Yes, that's correct, gorilla monster. You climbed the building. You are a clever gorilla monster.
There you have it. So verbs are doing words. They tell us what actions are happening. I wonder what adverbs are. Let's take a look at the video and find out.
Ah, the adverb train station. If you want to find out about adverbs, there is no better place. An adverb tells you how something happens. Here is a train moving quickly on the track. Quickly is an adverb here, as it describes how fast the train is moving. And look, here is another train. This one is moving very slowly on the track. Slowly is an adverb here, as it describes how fast the train is moving. Oh, here is a group of passengers waiting patiently for their train. Patiently is the word describing the verb waiting. Oh dear, here is the gorilla monster. He wants to play with the train. Oh, you are playing nicely with the train, aren't you? Nicely is the adverb here, as it describes how the gorilla monster is playing with the train. Playing is the verb because that is what the gorilla monster is doing. An adverb describes the nature of a verb. The gorilla monster expertly launched the train into space.
There you go. So a verb is a doing word or an action word, and an adverb describes how it happens. So if my verb was run, my adverb could be quickly. So I'm going to have a go at making my medicine now, and I'd like you to listen out for any verbs or adverbs that you hear and perhaps note them down. Okay, year two, so it's time to make grandma's medicine now. So we're going to use the same ingredients that we found yesterday. You're going to need a clear container, so it could be, I'm going to use a glass, but you could use a jar or a plastic bottle as long as it's see-through. Now, what we're going to do is, as we do this, we're going to add materials and we're going to think about what we're doing with them. We're going to think of some verbs and some adverbs, and you might want to note these down. So note down any verbs or adverbs that you use when you're adding your ingredients. So I know yesterday we said we were going to add some lemon juice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to very carefully unscrew the lid of the lemon juice. There we go. And what am I doing with the lemon juice? Pour. So I need to note down that word, that verb, pour. Let me note that down. Pour. How am I going to pour it in? I'm going to pour it in carefully. That's my adverb. Let me note that down. Carefully. So I'm going to pour carefully. There we go, just adding some of that lemon juice. There we go. So there's my lemon juice that I've added to my medicine. That's my first ingredient. And now I'm going to get my vinegar. So again, I'm just going to put that medicine down carefully. Unscrew the lids. So again, what verb would I use for the vinegar? I'm pouring again, so I can use the verb pour. And I'm pouring it. What adverb could I use instead of carefully? Slowly. I'm pouring the vinegar slowly. So my verb was pour and my adverb was slowly. Wow. Ugh, doesn't look very appetizing. Ugh. Okay, what shall I add next? Let's try the baking soda. So what verb? I suppose I'm going to tip for baking soda. So my verb could be tip. And I'm going to tip it. What's another word for carefully? What adverb could I use? Cautiously. I'm going to tip for baking powder cautiously. Wow, can you see that? Look what's happening. I've added the baking powder. It's all foaming up. That's interesting. So when I add vinegar or lemon juice and add baking powder to it or baking soda, it fizzes up. Wow. Oh, imagine what that's going to do in Grandma's tummy. Whew. What should we add next? Let's add a bit of soy sauce. Wow, look at it now. It's so foamy. I hope it doesn't spill over the cup, spill over the glass. Ugh. It looks like a glass of Coke, but I certainly wouldn't want to drink this. That's interesting. The soy sauce has stopped the foaming now. There we go. So what did I do with the soy sauce? I suppose I poured it in, or I tipped it in, or I added the soy sauce. So my verb could be add. How did I add it? Did I add it slowly, carefully, gently? I could use the adverb gently. So I add the soy sauce gently. Right, okay, so now I've got some curry powder. So what verb could I use for the curry powder? I'm going to sprinkle for curry powder. Sprinkle, can I have an adverb to describe how I'm sprinkling it? I'm sprinkling it carefully. I've already used carefully. Cautiously. Or generously, because I put quite a lot of curry powder in there, so I sprinkled it generously. Ooh, don't know if you can see that. That's what it looks like at the moment. Curry powder is sitting on the top. Oh, yeah, that does not smell very pleasant. Okay, let's add some pepper. Okay, so again, I'm going to sprinkle. I'm going to sprinkle it quickly. Wow. Shake it around just very gently, just shake it around to try and mix the ingredients. Oh, it smells even worse now. Washing up liquid. So I'm going to squeeze, that's my verb. I'm going to squeeze softly. So I'm not squeezing too hard, I'm squeezing softly. So my adverb is going to be softly. Wowee, that does not look good. Shampoo. So again, I'm going to squeeze. This time I'm going to squeeze quite firmly or hard. So my verb is squeeze. My adverb is firmly or hard. Yikes. That looks rather disgusting. And last but not least, I have my mouthwash. So let's place that carefully down. So we're going tipping or pouring for mouthwash carefully. Ooh. So that is my medicine. How gross does that look? Oh, gross. Now, once I've added it all in, I need to do something with it. How am I going to mix it all up? If you've got a jar with a lid, you could shake. You could shake it quickly or shake it rapidly. If you've got a spoon, you could stir. So you could stir quickly or stir rapidly. And then we have our medicine. I would love to see some pictures of your medicines. So if you've made a medicine, make sure you take a picture, and I'd love to see what you've made. Right, so now I've made our medicine, it's time to write down the verbs and adverbs that we used as we made it. And I've added some of those verbs and adverbs onto this sheet, which should be on the class page. So I've got pour, tip, sprinkle, squeeze, add, stir and shake as my verbs, and my adverbs to describe how I do them are quickly, rapidly, speedily, gently, carefully, cautiously, slowly, hard, firmly, tightly and steadily. I'd like you now to make your medicine, and I'd like you on your sheet to write down the verbs to explain what you're doing and the adverbs to describe how you're doing it. So if you're going to start off with a liquid to add to your medicine first, what verb might you use to explain how you're going to use that liquid? It might be pour. You pour the liquid. So after you've poured your first ingredient into your medicine, you can write the verb pour. And now we need to think of an adverb to describe how you can pour it. You're going to pour it carefully. Then, for example, you might move on to some sort of powder that you might add into your medicine. So what kind of verb could we use for the powder? How about tip? So we could write, and what could the adverb be? We could tip it. What adverb could we use? So I'm going to write the verb tip. What adverb could I use to describe how I could tip it? I've got to tip it quite gently. So if you write down the verbs and adverbs to describe what you're doing as you go, that means that when we write our instructions on Thursday, all of those ideas are going to be on your sheet ready. So make sure you hold on to this sheet because we're going to be using this on Thursday when we're writing our instructions on how to make the medicine. So you might have the verb sprinkle and the adverb to describe how you sprinkle it. You could sprinkle it quickly. So you're literally adding one ingredient at a time and describing how you've added it. Have you poured it? Have you tipped it? Have you sprinkled it? Maybe you've squeezed it. If it's a bottle, you might need to squeeze the bottle. So I'm going to add squeeze as my verb. And I have to squeeze it quite hard. So give that a go. As you're making your medicine, I'd like you to have a go at writing down the verbs and adverbs to describe how you're doing it, one ingredient at a time. And then by the end, you should have a sheet full of verbs and adverbs that you can use to help you when you write your instructions on Thursday. I can't wait to see what your medicines are going to look like. I bet you've got some fantastic ideas and ingredients that I've seen emailed through yesterday. Wow, some amazing ideas. Can't wait to see them. So really think about those verbs and adverbs that you're using, and good luck. Enjoy making your medicine, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye for now.